What up, everybody? I thought I would pop in and share a quick podcast episode that I'm about to record, but I think it'd be really useful to anybody who struggles with things like self-doubt, frustration, confidence in your business, and maybe you've even said or considered, you know what, I'm just going to burn this bitch to the ground. Fuck running this business. I'm going to go get a job. This is stupid. This is going to be for you, all right? So just to jump in, this past summer, I felt that way too, right? I wanted to quit, and I'm not going to get into the full details around this, but we were just having a really trialing and troubling time in the business. It was also related to just some personal stuff. Fortunately, Aaron's father had passed away a week before Jackson was born, our son. Her dad passing away led to her water breaking, and it was just a lot of stress. And then we had a lot of business problems that came up right after that. And these problems seemed so loud. They seemed so elevated due to the stress that we were already taking on personally. And during that time, I just had so many doubts. I had so much frustration, especially as I saw the business declining. And it got to a point where we were actually losing money in the business. And we had a lot of culture issues. We had to let a lot of people go. And it was just a whole chaotic mess. And again, I was having such serious doubts about whether or not I was suited to actually do this, right? I didn't trust myself. I didn't have confidence. And this isn't the first time that this has happened. It was just one of the worst. And I learned a lot through that process, and I want to share with you some of the takeaways and ways that I got through this, and now ways that I've been able to reframe how I think about running and growing a business. That's been a game changer, okay? It all has to do with seeking fulfillment, okay? Seeking fulfillment instead of passion or accomplishment. So what I mean is, I heard Tony Robbins once say that success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure, and I believe that to be true. So what's that mean? Well, everyone is pushed to pursue fulfillment. That's kind of what we're designed to. So how do we actually pursue fulfillment? Because fulfillment leads to energy. It leads to excitement, feeling like we're doing something great rather than just seeking accomplishment and wins and payoffs and big months. Because I'm telling you, that shit is fleeting, okay? It'll just leave you disappointed. And again, maybe you do find success and you hit these big milestones, these big months. But if you don't have fulfillment within that, you are going to be so empty, and it's going to feel like the world is crumbling down. So you have to work hard, all right? I'm sorry to tell you this, but life is hard. No matter what, you have to work hard, no matter what you're doing. And you have kind of two options when it comes to hard work. Think about it like this. You can either option one, you don't work hard, right? You just kind of get by, you just kind of cut corners and you chill, you watch Netflix all the time, you smoke weed, eat Cheetos, whatever. What that's going to lead to is anxiety and depression, right? Because we're definitely lacking fulfillment. We don't feel like we're making progress, and you're not getting any wins either. Now, with this, that's really hard, but that option doesn't come with any benefit, any payoff, right? Zero benefit to just feeling anxious and depressed through being a lazy fuck, right? Option two is you work hard, especially working hard to attain skills, right? To attain skills so that the hard experiences, the challenges are painful, but there's a massive benefit on that side that leads to fulfillment. Because now these skills will not only serve you in being able to make more money and have more freedom and all these things, but these skills will allow you to serve other people in a way that leads to excitement and fulfillment, okay? And that's really the key. So over time, long time, like years, you will have more and more skills that give you more and more leverage to which you don't have to necessarily work as hard, quote unquote. But even then, in that scenario, you'll still have to push yourself in ways to get fulfillment through growth. Now, what do I mean? Fulfillment is all about self-respect, okay? The only thing that really matters is how you feel about yourself. That's really where doubt and all these things come from. And we think, oh, I need confidence. I need confidence through, saying affirmations in the mirror and journaling and trying to think about gaining confidence as some tactic or strategy, where the reality is confidence comes through competence. It comes through proving to yourself repeatedly that you have confidence and you're worthy of self-respect. You do these things by working hard on again, gaining skills that allow you to make a contribution and an impact. So what I mean is no amount of praising yourself, no amount of reading the books about confidence and any of this other bullshit is going to lead to confidence. Instead, you have to do something that you perceive as exciting and as valuable and honorable, okay? Doing things that are honorable make things exciting, meaning doing things that are not just serving yourself. You want to be doing things that you feel as though the work that you're doing is helping others. That's why I love fitness so much. So I'm so passionate about helping coaches find fulfillment through work that is contributionary. It's contributing to improving people's lives. All right. So what I'm saying is how you value yourself is everything. Okay. If you only value yourself through achievement, you will constantly want to quit. Because why is that? Because the fact is, no matter how good you are at something, you're going to fail way more than you succeed. You're going to fail over and over and over and over. Out of every 20 things that you try, maybe one of those will work. Okay. And even that one thing that works, that's just like, it didn't fail. Okay. It's not a home run. Of every 50 things you do, you'll get one home run. But if the only time that you feel good about yourself is when you hit a home run, you will not be fulfilled. And again, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. That's where you feel empty inside. All right. So a good example of this is like competing. I don't know, for those of you who've maybe competed in physique sports or even competed in any sport, right? I know with competing, a lot of times you work super hard to compete. And a lot of times we're chasing the accomplishment, that first place trophy, right? Like this one. I think this was a third place trophy though. And what happens, right? If you don't win first, we have this huge sinking feeling of distraught and like, oh my gosh, all my efforts were wasted. This was bullshit. The judges were biased, right? Like, oh, this is bullshit. And so many of us find ourselves in that trap. And then all that work we did feels fleeting, which is just insane, right? Also, Olympians are famous for this, right? A lot of athletes compete for the Olympics, and it's like a 4-year, or not a 4-year, but a lifetime thing. And then it's like if they don't win gold, their lives feel just completely empty. It feels like, oh, I just wasted my time, and what do I do now? It's common with famous athletes or with professional athletes too. The reason for that is they had done all of this work, and they've worked really hard, just seeking an accomplishment rather than fulfillment through contributing to something that's honorable, helping others. That's why it's so important, okay? So instead, if you just decide, all I value myself for is the pursuit of my goals, okay? And my goals, I got this from Tom Bilyeu recently at a mastermind, and he was talking, and I thought this was genius. He says, our goals need to be exciting, and what makes them exciting is that they're honorable, meaning the work I'm doing is not only gaining me skills that, again, will make me money and create freedom and all these things, but it's making a contribution to other people's lives, okay? And that contribution could be as simple as, hey, I helped this person today, period. The achievement doesn't, like achievement doesn't have to happen for you to be excited. Hard work and contribution does. Both of those which you have control over. You don't have control over whether or not this post is going to go well or whether or not I'm going to close this sales call, right? You don't have full control over that, but you do have control over showing up to that sales call and deciding only that my judgment as to whether or not this was pass-fail is if I contributed to this person, if I helped this person, period. And listen, I know it seems like you might have a long way to go, right? You have these big goals, and maybe you have this distant finish line, maybe it's a revenue goal or whatever, but listen, that finish line holds nothing. In fact, if that's all you're focused on, it will be one of the worst experiences you ever have. And I speak on this from experience. Because you're basing on reaching that finish line to determine how you feel about yourself, okay? So I'll leave you with this. I was watching this TV show not too long ago, and this young girl was struggling to complete her homework. And she looked at her dad and she said, this is impossible. It's too hard. I'm never going to finish this. And the dad replied with something genius. He said, honey, do you know how to eat an elephant? And she obviously looked at him confused and was like, what are you talking about, Dad? Like, are you making another dad joke? And she rolled her eyes and said, I don't know, Dad, how? And he said, one bite at a time. Okay, so it's a simple but powerful lesson because it can be applied to you building your business. If you just focus on one bite at a time and making sure every one of those bites, you're reflecting to say, what I'm doing, is it gaining me skills? And are these skills going to help me contribute to something honorable, to helping people, right? Think about what you're doing today. How many people have you talked to today? Because DM outreach is not scammy, it is contributing. It is having a conversation with people to potentially help them. So how many times have you done that today, right? How much valuable content have you made? That's adding value to people's lives, even if it's making them laugh or feel something or giving them something tactical. How many clients have you connected with today and done something for? That's contribution. How many trainings or modules or things have you done to acquire new skills? Because those skills will allow you to make a bigger contribution. For example, right now I've really ramped this up, but I spend 1 to 2 hours a day watching trainings from mentorships that we're in, or YouTube videos, or reading, learning, studying. Because I know, because that makes me feel good about myself. Why? because I know that I'm doing these things to become a better human, which will allow me to have a higher level of contribution, not achievement. And that's where confidence comes from, because you do these things repeatedly and you prove to yourself that you have what it takes. So anyways, not my typical rant here, but hopefully this hits at least one of you that it helps today. And if so, I can sleep really well tonight because I know I contributed. And I hope that you can do the same. So anyways, thanks guys for hanging out, and I will see you on the next one.